Are you tired of coping with the emotions that you keep avoiding and avoiding others' emotions so you can survive through some heavy challenges and hoping that they will just disappear, they move away, and you don't have to deal with them? What if we choose the different path? What if we become more conscious of how to deal with the emotions, so we're not just surviving, but we are thriving, and we living our legacy every single day? So let's start where we want to start. We want to start to how to break those cycles of avoiding of the emotions for the benefits of others, for potential we feel that we will benefit if we will avoid the emotions and will not deal with it. How I was living in that subconscious mind for many years and avoiding hoping for the best. That's the way to peace, to keep that peace in check, and not dealing with the emotions of my own, trying to ignore emotions of others, and how that contribute to finally break through that avoidance and return actually to my inner power and start using my voice and start living my legacy every single day. So what was so triggering? At some point it becoming exhausting to attempting to hide from the emotions. The emotions are energy in motions. Yes, they can move, and they can somehow disappear. However, because of our resistance, because of uh, of the avoidance, we tend to store them in our bodies, and our bodies remember. I remember and waiting until we more brave, when we more courageous, to somehow bring us to some experiences to finally process those emotions. And when you're not aware how you can process those emotions, living in that unconscious avoidance of the emotions, just to survive, especially in the challenging situations when those emotions are much more intense on its own, it's becoming a big challenge, and we can be blinded to know what to do in those situations. I just experienced one of those this Sunday when I was triggered by my mom, and with something that she said in the high expectations, and that triggers some emotions for me. And that was an interesting dance when we were dancing together in the exchange comeback, like on the match. On the tennis court or whatever match you would like to imagine, where I was choosing not to kind of give in to her expectation or demand, and having some direct comebacks, and she had her direct comebacks, and we finally settle to more out of the guilts and shames, and out into the more peaceful state, and calmer state and more grateful state of the situation. So it was happening pretty quickly, so it wasn't easy to make a quick discernment. However, I was choosing to the best of my ability to be more of an observant, and being in more of the uh, control, not to get too much out of the control with the emotions, when especially those heavy emotions can run very quickly into out of control, to a lot of arguments, to a lot of guilting, to a lot of shaming, to a lot of judgment. And when that's happening, it's you lacking yourself. You no longer know what is going on. This is really becoming a very definition of survival, when you want to escape, and you're looking for the way out, either by fighting and arguing more, or ready to run away from the whole situation, or freezing and being like don't know what is going on around you. And many times that could be detrimental to the situation, for you, for your well-being, but also for well-being of the other human being, when you having those kind of crazy exchanges and none of you know what is really actually going on, because your mind is not allowing you to be more present and grounded in the situation. So this is why it's so important to learn more about your emotions, to start practicing how to process those heavy emotions in a more peaceful matters, and many times becoming more present and grounded with yourself, to start using some practical tools that can support you to create more of that connections to yourself, when you really standing connected to yourself, to your source power, when you can use your power for good and not overpowering somebody with the disconnected power, attempting to control or manipulate somebody else because you felt being hurt by the other person, being offended by the other person, being dishonored by the other person. And that's usually the case. We feel like other people dishonoring, we have the right to dishonoring them. And when we really start standing back and start realizing that we are created many times some of those situations because we wanted to experience more of that honor. It's not like in controlling and power, controlling and manipulation, that you can demand from the others the honor that you're looking for, but actually to experience that dishonor, to see, to be able to transform. But that requires that groundness, that presence, that observance, that you know what is going on and not blocking yourself and unconsciously approaching the situation when you don't know what hit you. And how to peacefully move through that uncomfortable situation, uncomfortable emotions, and having a deeper understanding that they are there for you, and they're leading you back home to yourself, to return back to yourself from that disconnect, to process more of through your presence, through your grandness, or those heavy emotions. So you cannot just make a difference for yourself, but can make a difference for others, because people will feel when you in a more peaceful state, when you more present, when you in more compassionate, loving space, they will feel it. It will radiate out of you, and they will also ready more to transform their heavy emotions. You might be of assistance to them. They because of you modeling that for them, they might be more open to continue on that journey, to allowing to process those emotions and not stacking them and avoiding them and trying to survive, but start actually thriving more, trying to connect more with themselves and standing in their power and using their voice and living their legacies on a daily basis, and not just hoping for the best, that maybe if the perfect situation will happen, they will attempt at the legacy. This is where the legacy is created, when we becoming courageous and breaking through certain limitations, certain beliefs, certain program, subconscious program that are somehow still lingering in our minds, in our bodies, some memories of some unprocessed situations, unprocessed emotions that is so triggering for us, and creating a lot of fear around it, that we feel hopeless, we feel powerless. We rather allow for somebody to control us or tell us what to do with that. We feel that we cannot do that on our own. We get to start reconnecting, to start realizing that we are powerful beyond the measure, and not in a controlling way, not manipulating way, but when we in that connection with ourselves and our source power, we we can be very powerful. We coming from more conscious and awakened state. We operating more from our heart and our intuition, when we can make the discernment what steps to take to move through the challenges, through move through those heavy emotions. And that's how we moving those heavy emotions out of our body, out of our system, and transforming them, not trying to store them or avoiding them, or just to survive. All of a sudden we see a different perspective, we see clearer and potential, really fairly clear solutions, better than we ever expected, showing up in our awareness to the challenges that we're facing. Maybe somebody reaching out to us and offering that. Maybe we coming with the idea to reach out to certain person to help us out with that situation and that challenge that we are facing. It becomes like a blessing and a miracle, and that's what blessings are around. I even coming recently to some deeper awareness. Okay, I'm keep asking for the blessings, I'm keep asking for the guidance, and start coming to bigger realizations over the years. Well, if you want to have the blessings, you get to have the courage to move through some emotional resistance, through some limited beliefs that is still lingering, to be able to thrive and not just survive, to transform that to that pure light from that dense darkness. And by standing in your power, using your voice in that connections with yourself, operating from your inner home, from that lighthouse, and shining that light to the others, and shining the love to the others from that space, and without any judgment or blame or shame or guilt or high expectations, where we can create in the community and develop more of that immunity again against those heavy dense emotions, against that disconnect, and be more ready. Even I'm not saying that you will never experience those emotions, heavy emotions again. I'm sharing how you can go about them, how you can become more conscious, how you can develop a practice by practicing more, that you, even if somehow you snap yourself out of your conscious, you can return back to your conscious and to yourself quicker, so you can take appropriate and aligned actions uh, reconcile the situation, heavy situations, and shift the perspective to more open one, that your mind is more open, your heart is more open, your body is more open to receive the solution, where your body is more open to receive that blessing that you actually hoping to receive, where you can bless others and share with the others, and rippling to others your light, feeling blessed and grateful for the experience that you experience, and transformations and deeper work that you done because of your willingness to stop avoiding your emotions and start living more consciously, and living your legacy, and not just attempting to leaving one behind. So I would love for you to share some stories and some reflections and wisdoms in the comments, based on what I'm sharing here, based on my experiences, based on situations. So also that situation is like I had mentioned. It's not something that I want to experience, even when I done deep dives and done a lot of inner work and know much better how to connect with myself. There will be situations, there will be some co-creations with the others where you somehow all of a sudden not so blinded anymore, but can snap quicker out of that, can open your eyes, open your mind, open your heart, open your body, open your soul to process, to move through that, and not storing that, and not resenting the situation, not resenting yourself, not resenting the other human being, and returning back to your home where it's more peaceful, a loving, joyful, compassionate, lighter situation that you can experience. And with all of that, it's not so much that you have to keep processing, but when you returning back, it will transmute some of those emotions and heavy emotions that they're not lingering anymore with you. So this is right now a time where we have those opportunities. So that's why it's so important to become more conscious, to realize what an amazing time we're living. That people, when you may be sitting and listening to some news or something, you feel gloomy and feeling like a lot of darkness overcoming you, and start realizing that you have the power to transform that darkness to a brighter state when you start moving your emotions, when you start coming from more expanded conscious from your groundness, from your presence, and start realizing how what a blessing is to experience, and how you can share those blessings with the others and live your legacy and live your purpose on this earth, and creating that amazing experiences like that feel like heaven on earth, where you honoring yourself and honoring others. That's the big part of it. We so used to of that dishonoring for the benefits of others, or feeling like others dishonor, and we getting in that confusion that others dishonor so we can dishonor them, but many times forgetting that possibly we were a creator. I'm not saying to put all the blame on yourself, just start distinguish that possibly, and have that understanding that possibly you created some situations for you to wake up to the potential that you can honor yourself before you can ripple that honor to others, and not just keep coming that in order for be honored by somebody is to disrespect somebody, to control, to manipulate others, to demand from the others that honor. It's not working that way. You get to return back to yourself, to start honoring yourself more, and then you start experience more of that honor with the others. You will not only help yourself and make that difference, but also can help others when they start seeing that as the possibility for themselves, and rippling and creating more of that unity on this earth, and understanding that it's possible to experience more of that unity in the community. And that community is to witness each other, even if there's two people. It's always amazing when there are more than one than two people gather. However, even with two people, you can create more of that community unity, to create more of that immunity against that disconnect. So inviting you to connect, if that's something that you want to explore more, how we can potentially connect and co-create together some amazingness, to create more of that unity and immunity, to make a better difference for ourselves and for others, because there is a lot of opportunities that you can kind of be blinded living around a lot of still unconscious people. So happy that there are more people that are waking up to the potential, and especially I'm so passionate to support visionary women who are already doing very courageously some, and being more heart center, and open to explore some visions, being courageous leaders in their fields, and looking for co-creating together some even more amazing difference for themselves and also for others. So feel free to type connect or go to awaken.women.com and let's connect there, and you can schedule some time or reach out to me and we can connect and see how we can expand our presence in the grounded authentic community in co-creation collaborations and make that difference for ourselves and others. So without further ado, thank you for being present. Thank you for checking that live. Thank you for your comments and connections. Looking forward to those. Sending so much love, joy, peace, light, compassion, and see you around.